graduate student category is Devin Walker from the University of Texas at Austin. Devin is a doctoral student in curriculum integration and instruction and is graduate assistant in the Longhorn Center for Academic Excellence. Devin has completely transformed the face of study abroad at the institution, said his nominator, Dr. Charles Liu, Executive Director in the Division of Diversity and Community Engagement. Some examples of Devin's leadership include the Diversity Abroad Showcase he founded in 2013. The annual event is attended by prospective students interested in studying abroad and 175 study abroad alumni who present their narratives about learning abroad. He has also created, facilitated, and helped to institutionalize a series of study abroad writing workshops designed to support diverse students with their essays and the application process. Since the program's inception in 2014, it has served more than 200 students, many of whom were accepted into their respective programs. In addition, Devin routinely leads workshops on diversity and inclusion in education abroad for student organizations and has facilitated workshops for the 2016 Iraqi Fulbright Scholars, the Admissions Office, as well as a training session for the Study Abroad Office on engaging Black men in study abroad. More recently, he served as a program coordinator and a teaching assistant for an award-winning faculty-led program to Cape Town and Beijing. Devin's service to diversifying study abroad extends beyond the university campus. He has served on the 2015-16 Diversity Abroad Task Force on Men and this year's Diversity Abroad Conference Planning Committee. Devin's dissertation will explore the impact of study abroad programs on student athletes. Before I ask him to come up, I also like to say about him and both students, man, I hope some of you people out there hire these guys. Please join me in congratulating Devin and inviting him up to the stage to say a few words.
Thank you all. It's like the first award I've won since I was like 13, you know, when everybody gets the little trophy. So I definitely want to thank Diversity Abroad, the Diversity Abroad Network, everyone here who's supporting this event. The Division of Diversity and Community Engagement at the University of Texas at Austin, they've given me a platform to do what I love and allow me to be creative and do that, which is certainly appreciated and is not given that space, is not given all the time. And also the International Office at the University of Texas at Austin. They've been great partners. Margaret has helped me develop a lot as a professional, and I certainly appreciate their support and, again, freedom to be free. Lastly, I would like to thank my family. They always support me, as well as my friends, and specifically my parents and my late father. So my father, when we were kids, he used to take us camping and skiing. And that was unique coming from kids from urban Los Angeles. And I always remember I could like feel myself in the backseat coming back into LA on the freeway and feeling more confident. And I'm not sure what that confidence was from, but knowing that there was something new out there, there was a different way of life, there was different understandings than what I was taught and what I grew up with in urban Los Angeles. And I think this idea of confidence is one of the pillars in which I stand behind study abroad, specifically for students of color. I think it's extremely important that students of color develop authentic confidence. And it's tough in America because our cultural identities are often under attack. Through American hegemonic understandings of the other, we are often named in deficit and dehumanizing ways, right? Illegal, terrorist, confused, criminal, thug, and our histories are often distorted through school curriculum or erased completely. So they bring that to the institutions, and us as educators, not only do they bring that to these institutions also help facilitate a lot of that dehumanizing language and dehumanizing content. So it's up to us to find space for students to create new understandings of their cultural identities. And I think study abroad provides that space. And as Dr. Wick, who I rely on often in my work, this idea of renegotiating these identities is an extremely powerful concept. And I think education abroad specifically When you go to another country, for example, there's new understandings for me, new understandings of blackness, new understandings of what it means to be brown, to be Latino, to be Arabic, to be disabled. And part of what we have to do is we have to renegotiate who we are in that space, and then when we come back to our American space, we have to renegotiate who are we in this space. And that comes with a lot of critical consciousness raising. And also, as the student panel so eloquently talked about yesterday, this idea for many students of color, when you get international, you start to recognize that yes, while I am oppressed by white supremacy here in my home country, I am actually a part of that supremacy and privilege on a global stage. And my American identity is often most forefronted. And that's a struggle, but it's a worthwhile struggle, because I think in this world we are all oppressed and we are all oppressors. And once we learn how to negotiate and untangle that and these different intersections, we can start to see the world at large as our community. Lastly, I would like to say I want to give thanks to the students that I work with. Two of them are here today, Cinnamon and Ishmael. Can y'all stand up? They're both hella dope, one. And two, I mean, so like recently I just saw like Cinnamon was interviewing the president of our university. And to think what confidence and courage that takes. And my man Ishmael, I'm gonna tell a quick story about Ishmael, because we went to South Africa, all three of us went to South Africa together, all of our first years at the institution. And Ishmael had never been on a plane before, from Dallas, never been on a plane. We're living in the same house. This brother didn't know how to cook a chicken breast, right? He's like, Devin, man, help me, what do I, salt and pepper this first or after? So we developed a great relationship, and the following year he came with us to China. And then after China, he had the confidence to travel a little bit throughout Asia on his own. And then he ended up in Singapore to do a semester by himself. And now, when we're back at the University of Texas at Austin, both of them have helped me lead diversity abroad events. They've helped the international office, and they speak and they use their space and their privilege and their stories to make a difference. And again, I'm not sure about Cinnamon, but I know he is going to USC to receive his master's degree next year, so that deserves a round of applause. And I think it speaks to the point I was making earlier, is that international spaces provide us the opportunity to be critical and to develop that critical consciousness, and also to develop confidence in ourselves, and ultimately to face ourselves in the mirror with the question of, what are you going to do with your privilege? And we all have privilege in here. So I push that for us all to think about, what do you do with your privilege? Is it enough to simply do good work, or are we disrupting systems and structures that give us our privilege? Thank you.